Good morning.
So, shall we start?
Yes.
So, last week we have ended our discussion on this. So, what could be the reasons? Our very, mm, I don't know whether I should use this word, very pathetic kind of per capita GDP. See, we are 107 rank in terms of, and in terms of PPP, at least we are better to the extent like it could be as high as $5,000. See, who are our neighbors? In this is Nigeria, Nicaragua, Egypt, Vietnam. So we are. I think we are far lagging behind in terms of richness. So anyway, there are, but as I said in the last class, per capita GDP alone may not give a realistic picture of the wealth and sociological and psychological status of the country. Right? There are certain countries like Bhutan, whose per capita GDP is less, but still people are there, are happy, contented. So we will not go into those issues. Now, we listed what could be the reason for this kind of sorry state of affairs. That is, that could be like a highly bureaucratic government. Somehow, after the independence, we thought like a socialistic uh, biasness in the uh, administration has come up because Americans were never supporting us properly, and because we were partly like we were very friendly with the Soviets. So and the so-called our father planning commission, PC Mahalanobis, like he was uh, more. He is of the opinion that development can take place using 5-year plans. So naturally, they thought like by imitating Soviet Russia, they were under the impression that whatever things that uh, like the private sector is not capable of doing things. So they thought like only government should do everything. So what happened is over a period of time, the government, the so-called license Raj has come up because we are highly suspicious of the private entrepreneurship. So we have a very restricted license Raj, and then, that led to smothering the entrepreneur spirit of our businessmen. In fact, like one of the gravest mistakes we did during that time is taking over Air India, and now after say 40, 50 years, we are again giving back to the same company which started that. So, and that means uh, like those who have studied the those who have read the last Sunday Hindu, someone is sarcastically writing something on how lopsided management was there during when the government was managing the Air India. So one can go through that article. It's very interesting, right? Uh, anyway, like then we didn't believe in copyrights and patent laws. In fact, we that is another reason why that entrepreneurship, inventive kind of uh, mindset has not we have not developed. See, when the first patent law was enacted in 1770 in Britain, when that copyright and patent law was enacted, there is a flood of innovation in the UK. Literally flood of innovation. Because people felt confident that if I invent something, I can benefit out of it. Because the state has took the responsibility of protecting the has took the responsibility of protecting the interests of the individual, particularly the innovator. Right? So what happened? It is not like it is not by fluke. UK ended up inventing so many things. Whether it is steam engine, whether it is railroad system, whether it is mother lathe, whether you name it, electric motor, stainless steel, steel making, Bessemer process. This Bessemer process is an invention of UK. In fact, there is so much flood of innovation because of that copyright law, patent law. Someone has compared that innovation is equivalent to building around 1 lakh pyramids, equivalent to, see, constructing a pyramid is a big, it is a very huge task. But the amount of innovation that happened in UK after the patent laws was so much that it led to UK dominating the entire world. In fact, that led to that statement: the sun doesn't set in British territory because they have occupied so many lands, so many islands, so many continents. Whether you take New Zealand or Australia, or wherever you see that they are there. All this is because of encouragement for innovation. Even they know how to, in fact, the first law on declaring a company as an individual, that is Limited Liability Act of 1862 or 1860, somewhere. That has led to a lot of further innovation in corporate setup, where you have, like, the owner doesn't have the pressure of losing money, right? The concept of shares, all that has come. So here in India, whereas in India, we never believed in copyrights or nor patent laws. That's why most of the inventions that happened in India, it remained with as a family secret. Like whether you take the fellow who made a iron pillar in Qutub Minar, the fellow never told anybody how he could make iron as a rust proof metal. Similarly, we have so many stories like that because our kings, Jamindars, or who were there, they never appreciated this important point. how to protect an innovator, right? So that is there. Then we have the poor, what do you call, infrastructure. See, under government control, it is not only poor government, poor pilot training. No, no. See, that is not the reason. Safety wise and pilot, and see, Air India in that way, it has a good safety record. What is the problem is like pilferage, pilferage of assets, assets of, right? So they have just uh, someone is saying like an air hostess has purchased a big flat in Bombay just purely based on pilferage. Okay, so anyway, Hemant Sai is saying it is not just simply that point. Okay, and now poor infrastructure. So you have roads like shipping, airports. Again, the same problem. Most of the infrastructure is being handled by government, and all these sorts of nonsense will happen. Like at least now you have PPP model. Now that means public-private partnership. Say for example, like if you take Hyderabad Metro, see that is a public PPP model. Similarly, airport in GMR airport in Hyderabad, Shabad airport. So you have that PPP issue, right? So like at least PPP model is a bit better, all right? So anyway, wrong priorities. Like we ended up not doing primary education, and then ended up doing everything. So anyway, so there are even social and cultural factors where most of the Indians are risk averse. They want to play safe, right? Probably that is because uh, we like risk averse is there even in UK. What happened? By inventing this Limited Liability Act, the owners of attaching property of the owner of the company, by limiting his liability, people could take a bit of adventure in starting an industry. UK, but that has percolated well into their culture. But now in India, like we think that any business, starting a business is a bit risky adventure. So, that limited liability is a great boon in one of the greatest boons that UK got. Someone has thought about that particular innovative idea, and they went ahead, and then that's why there is a large scale industrialization. Not only in UK, the same thing was copied by US people and then other European countries, and they could see the impact of that particular Limited Liability Act. But anyway, now let us move to our. So anyway, you can't, let us say, like we can't do anything about now about this poor infrastructure, or anyway certain places like we are improving. Definitely, like now we have a good patent law. In fact, like till 1990, if you take NIT Warangal, we have only two patents. In fact, even in our institution also, we don't know that one should register his idea in a paper, in the form of a patent. But now in NIT Warangal, on the average, we are registering at least half a dozen patents per year in NIT Warangal. So things are improving, right? We have understood the beauty of patents. Mahendra, isn't what is the question? So, under government, asset monetization. Yeah, yeah. See, that is also good, right? Because see, that asset monetization, in one way, it's a good development. See, even though there is a bit of criticism on that, you know, that that could lead to an improved functioning of the assets, right? But only thing is, when you do this asset monetization, you should not again land into what is so called crony capitalism. Crony capitalism means what happens is you give that contracts to your own people. See, you may be running, you may be going for a PPP model, public-private partnership. But again, instead of doing in a transparent way, you try to allocate those kind of things to some your own chimchas and relatives and pottery. Then you are likely to land up into trouble, right? But as long as you do those, like just like allocating 2D spectrum to your own people or 3D spectrum. So that is as long as you do it in a transparent way, like where you go for auctioning, public auctioning. Like for example, when they have auctioned publicly the 5G or 4G spectrum, government without even investing a paisa, they got almost 1 lakh crore rupees. See, spectrum is a nature given resource, and through which you get your all your cell phone and TV channels. So suddenly, government of India has found a way to get extra revenue by just auctioning the frequency bands, right? So anyway, that is what we mean. Like you do asset monetization, but do it in a transparent way so that people, professionals will enter into the field. So if you start giving it to your own, like then all that mafia will come. And once the mafia comes into picture, you are gone case. Okay, people will not the guys with good entrepreneurial skills. They will not participate in the whole process. But anyway, so since we can't, there are certain things which beyond our control, right?
Sir,
To
hello.
rectify. Huh? Hello.
Okay, sir, in all your these are personally spotted by you know, sir, all these points.
Yes, yes, yes. Purely personal.
Actually, the main thing is not there, sir. It's the people mindset.
I told him, social and cultural factors.
No, sir, not that. Like narrow-minded. People are very narrow-minded.
See, no, it is not like narrow-minded.
Actually,
See,
everything
that
we
kind
all
of
blame on
narrow-mindedness.
others. We all blame on others, sir. Like highly bureaucratic governance, we blame on politicians. Poor enforcement of copyright and all, we blame on government. Of course, government
Ah,
is bad, but why do they go bad, sir? Like, it's the people who elect them, right?
no, who is Satisha? Who is talking?
Me, sir. Satish.
See, Satish, here, see that narrow-mindedness is there even in America. See, you can see that narrow-mindedness in the form of litigation. See, America is a nation of litigants, you know, but why it could deliver goods is because, in spite of all that litigation and narrow-mindedness, the system is helping them. System is rewarding those people who are doing some value addition, like Elon Musk. See, there is a lot of abuse on Elon Musk. Abuse
Yes,
in the
sir.
sense, people were criticizing him left and right, saying that this fellow is a failure, he is a written off guy. That's why in between, Elon Musk took marijuana to come out of that shit. But again, that fellow was again punished by the SEBI, saying that like you can't speak like that in the public domain. But finally, like people rewarded him by escalating his share price to more than $1,000, and then now he is the now his net worth is almost $300 billion, which is he is 2 or 3 times more than the next richest man. It may be a temporary phase, but what I mean to say is, see, this narrow-mindedness is not a feature of Indian people. But only thing is, Indian people, unfortunately, we didn't understand what works and what doesn't work properly.
Sir, I
Fortunately,
understand what you're saying that like for every
uh,
person there will be opposition and narrow-minded
uh,
people are narrow-minded in the beginning, and by doing it in the way they get it, we can change their perspective, right, sir?
hmm,
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
uh,
Indian people are like more stubborn, like they won't listen to the reasoning.
uh,
I don't like to say like set of people are like this, set of people are like this, but they are like, for example, if there
uh,
is, you agree that every person in India, almost every person, at least those who are above 30, have
uh,
some like set party, like this party is good, this party is bad. Like that,
hmm,
everyone will have that, no, sir? In
hmm,
India, at least. I don't know about others, but in India,
uh,
like this, a political party is good, this is bad. Or
uh.
at least if they don't have this party is good, also they will definitely have this party is bad.
No, no, no. See, unfortunately, for there is a bit of what you call uh, అమాయకం ఏమంటారు a bit of
Innocence.
ignorance, a bit of you know, see, the entire public is not fully educated. No? There is a illiteracy. So sometimes the illiterate people, sometimes they don't know how to fix the priorities. They may be attracted to freebies. All, sir, you see, this is all because like we have some certain legacy. But unfortunately, what happened is we didn't had somehow we missed good leadership. See, that again, it is a bit of a chance, right? Like, for example, like if you take a highly pirated, infested island like Singapore, suddenly it got a very beautiful leader by name Lee Kuan Yew. That kind of strong leader, unfortunately, we didn't have. Modi is a bit better, but the only problem with Modi is he is a bit religious fanatic. That's the only problem. Otherwise, his policies are good. you know. So anyway, we can discuss hours together on this. So let us move on to uh, to our next issue. So, like, improve the productivity at a country level or nation level, probably, as I said, like, these are all my personal points which I thought I can share with you. Then now, like, now coming to what, let us now look into what we can do at an industry level. Suppose you are in charge of an industry. At your level, what are the possible ways to improve the productivity of that industry? So let us see. And for this, again, we will approach the problem in a structured way given by ILO, International Labour Organization. So what they have beautifully structured the whole, they have reasoned out what could be the reasons for low productivity in an industry. So that they have defined in the form of this kind of uh, um, so they have defined this in terms of what is so-called work content of a job. So that is, like, for example, if you look at here in this uh, uh, figure, so this is called this is called basic work content. That means, theoretically speaking, this is the basic work content of a job. But unfortunately, the total work content gets expanded because up to here, this is in terms of time. So this total work content gets added up because of work content added due to defects in design and specification of a wrong specifications will lead to wrong product design, and that will lead to rejection of the product. So whenever you are rejecting a product or if the product is a failure, that means whatever effort that you have done was waste. Similarly, if you have not chosen the work content added by like deficient methods, inefficient methods of manufacturing or operations, so these this will increase the total work content, right? Then to this you add further you add total ineffective time. So how ineffective time is added? Ineffective added due to shortcomings of the management. And then ineffective time within the control of worker, like due to carelessness of the inexperience, lack of training, or lack of motivation. All these contribute to due to worker. So in fact, like, as I said, one of our management heroes by name Edward Deming. I think some of you can go through about this guy's contribution to management. Edward Deming, according to management guru Edward Deming, he says this ineffective time, increase in ineffective time, it is all sometimes it is around 92 and 8%. What he says, 92%. This is the entire thing up to here. It is in fact like ineffective time added by the management due to work content added due to defects in design, inefficient methods. This is all again contribution from the management only. Unless management has selected the best designers, best manufacturing executives, like who are good in process planning. So what he says, 92% of the time, this ineffective time that is added is all because of shortcomings of the management. Only 8%. In fact, this Edward Deming, when he lived to almost 100, he lived for 100 years, and before he was dying, he said like, no, I was wrong about this 92 and 8%. He said like it is 94 and 6%. He says only contribution of ineffective time by worker is only 6%. 95.4% of the time, it is the management's contribution to ineffective time. So when you are instead of completing a job within this time, because you have there are defects in the design, there are defects in the procedures you have followed to realize the design, because of ineffective management, and then ineffective, because what happens is instead of completing the job within this time, you end up taking this much amount of time. That is where this is one of the reasons. So reasons for low productivity in industry is partly it comes because of the your design, faults in the design, faults in your method of manufacturing, faults in your management. Management can contribute in the form of taking wrong marketing policies, choosing wrong marketing policies, marketing strategies, or choosing like not doing a perfect job in the scheduling, quality control, maintenance of the machines. All this is part of management only. Similarly, like workers can contribute to increase work content of a job only 8%. That too, because like in spite of your best training, some workers can be careless at the work spot, or maybe there is a shortcoming in the learning the new skills by the worker. Absenteeism, carelessness, inappropriate training, all these can be attributed to ineffective time added because of the worker. But that alone is only 8%. Out of this, if you say like this is 100%, uh, contribution by defects in design process, and then management, it can be 92, and this is only 8%, right? So let us see like how you can improve designs. Let us see how, or first of all, let us analyze what we mean by defects in design, right? So reasons for low productivity in industry, as I said, like work content added due to defects in design, right? And then work content added due to defects in process selection, and then we have ineffective time due to shortcomings of the management and ineffective time within the control of the. So let us go in detail about what we mean by how work content gets added. See, when you are doing a certain operations unnecessarily, that leads to low productivity only, right? So here, let us see like here. So defects due to design. So lack of standardization prevents use of high production processes. See, this point was highlighted long back by none other than father of computer science. Who is father of computer science? Or father of computers? Huh? Charles Babbage, no? So Charles Babbage, when he was making his analytical engine and reference engine, in his search for gears, cams, levers, he found that none of the industries in UK, they were following some standardization with respect to nuts and bolts, shafts. You know, see, only later people have realized why Charles Babbage is recommending standardization. After that only, people came up with standardization in every technological item. Like for example, like M16 thread, M16 bolt, nut, like all these. Why we have only some standard threads, standard sizes? Like you take even our clothing, XL, L, M, within again L again 42, 44. Like because this standardization issue, particularly in a developing, like when a new technology is coming now, so initially it will be very chaotic because each fellow will have his own proprietary technology. Right? Say for example, if you take internet, what is the now standardization they are following for internet? So now internet, every internet now is following TCP IP protocol, right? But prior to everyone sticking to this TCP IP protocol, most of the computer networks they used to have their own proprietary network protocols, like novel network, and then what do you call, not only novel network, then we have Microsoft network, and then you have MAP protocol, manufacturing automation protocol, right? Aloha. So it is a kind of very, and if somebody buys novel network networking protocol, you used to become a prisoner of that. Once people have agreed that let us everyone follow TCP/IP protocol, what happened? Now the whole world is connected through this TCP/IP protocol. So lack of standardization prevents use of high production process. Like for example, Sony used to follow Betamax format for video recording, and rest of them used to follow PAL. So there is a like two kind of standards for PAL. There is a PAL and Betamax. So Betamax is a Sony proprietary technology. PAL is a rest of the TV people used to follow. So there is a naturally there is a so if you say if you are coming with a, like for example, the best example we can think of is Apple computer and IBM compatible PC. Apple PC and IBM compatible PC. Whereas IBM compatible PC has followed standard parts to make their computer, personal computer. Whereas Apple used to follow its own proprietary technology. What happened because of that? Finally, the PC market is dominated by IBM compatible PCs, where they have cornered 92% of the market. And whereas only 8% belongs to Apple PCs. So lack of standardization what prevents use the high production processes. And then improper specifications. So how you like improper specifications means like there is a saying for this. There is a what you call he say one of the management gurus when he was asked like how you define quality. He gave in a very simple. He simplified the quality in terms of only using 3 words. He said like fitness for use. He said like you have to fit as per the or use or purpose. Fitness for purpose or fitness for use. That means you see the end for what that particular product is used for, and accordingly you specify the specifications. Say, for example, if you take a roadside crane, sugarcane juice fellow, like he also uses gears, right? He will, and the specification for the gears can be so crude. Like sometimes he says to specify the gear, he will say like addendum is like this, like diameter is so much, there's so many teeth. But there, when it comes to specifying tolerances, he will give tolerances plus or minus 0.5 mm because he is there. It has a simple application of squeezing the juice out of a sugar cane. But whereas the specifications for the gears which go into the automatic transmission gearbox of say Fortuner or Rolls Royce, their specifications are very sharp, very low tolerances. Because they sometimes you have to you you want to give best of the driving comfort to the owner of the that guy. So you end up giving very tight tolerances, plus or minus in terms of 5 or 10 microns. That is the kind of tolerance band you specify for that. So that is what Juran said. Fitness for purpose means so you see the end use. So don't give Rolls Royce kind of gear finishing to a guy who is operating a roadside sugarcane machine, right? So and similarly, like incorrect quality standards. Just now we discussed now, like specify quality standards as per the again fitness for use. If you take specifications also,
So
you
specifications is hello.
huh?
Specifications is like dimensions and quality can be like material and everything, right?
No, specifications can be in terms of say capacity, right?
Okay.
For example, horsepower. You are you suggesting the right kind of horsepower for the car? Say, for example, one of the criticisms of on a nano car is there is a bit of improper specifications. Like it was not having enough horsepower to drive smoothly to take a family of 4. Like in not to save money, they ended up giving specifications which were not giving a reasonable amount of value for money is not there. Like when you are specifying, say, lathe, the swing over bed or distance between the centers, all that also has to be as per the don't over specify nor under specify. That's why that management guru Joseph and Joran, he said like fitness for use. See, who is the beneficiary? What is his expectations? Even incorrect quality standards means like how much tolerances. What should be the right amount of tolerance band you should specify? Is it? See, sometimes for non-mating parts also people end up giving very tight tolerances. See, normally tolerances are very important when there are two mating parts. Whenever there are two mating parts, you have to be very careful about giving the right kind of tolerances and interferences. Like you have clearance fit and then you have transition fit and then interference fit. So incorrect quality standards means what kind of fit you are recommending, and at the same time what is the tolerance band. So here fits and tolerances comes under this incorrect quality standards specifications in terms of capacity, ability to do things. All right. Say for example, um, whether the lathe can. Are you suggesting the appropriate capacity of specification of a lathe to do a particular job? All right. So sometimes you end up wrong choosing a, like for example, let us give one example. Like suppose you want to have you want to achieve a tolerance band of 5 to 10 microns using a Punjab lathe. Can you do it? No, because the process capability of a Punjab lathe or a Ludhiana lathe is only a crude one. Whereas if you want a very tight tolerances, then you have to go for a sophisticated machining center or a CNC machine. So process selection is also very important depending on the quality standards you are choosing. Right? So for example, like poor design leading to an economical process. So sometimes your design, right, can poor design can lead to so like wherever you could use say for a forging process, because of your poor design you may end up using some machining process which may be an uneconomical one. So that's why now people have come up with what is that subject called design for manufacture. That means at the design stage itself, you should be able to visualize what kind of hurdles you are likely to face during manufacturing, right? So defects due to design means it could be lack of standardization, it could be improper specifications, incorrect quality standards, and poor design leading to uneconomical process. Now let us see like defects due to process selection and operation. So due to defects in process selection and operation, see wrong process selection. So as I told you now, to manufacture gears which are being supplied to a Rolls-Royce car, if you end up using a Ludhiana lathe, Punjab lathe, see, it is not about degrading somebody. See, normally they are low-cost machines. Punjab lathe and Ludhiana lathe, they can be, they have their own usage. Like for example, like making shaft for a bullock cart, machining a shaft for a bullock cart, or making wheel of a, turning a wheel for, or making a small size journal bearing for a bullock cart. You can use it, but if you use that Punjab lathe for producing uh, a, a for a sophisticated component in Rolls-Royce car, then that is wrong. Even under specification is also bad. Over specification is also bad. That means using a machining center to produce a roadside gear needed for a sugarcane crushing machine. So you have to see, like just like we said, na, fitness for purpose. What is the purpose? Neither you have to under specify or over specify. Similarly, improper operation. So improper operation means, like for example, you might have studied in your machining lab. Like for example, for every combination of tool and work material, there is what is so called optimal settings. Process optimization you have to do now. Like for example, for when you are machining cast iron using say HSS tool, in that combination there is a what we call a perfect setting, like how much depth of cut, how much feed and speed. See, there is an optimal. So you have to find out what is the appropriate. But most of the time, what happens is we use an asset suboptimally without extracting maximum utility out of a machine. Because we sometimes we don't even understand how to operate it properly. Right? Say, for example, you know, how many of us are using our cell phone in a productive way? Whether we are using all the features available in a mobile or not. Okay? Are we? I see certain old people operating a smartphone in a very, very good way. Right? Hello, hello. Somebody is doing cross-talking. Right? So, improper operation. Similarly, bad layout. So, bad layout means, like I told you now, what is the best example I have given? Huh? For bad
Functional
layout.
layout.
Huh? Hello? Hello?
చాలా వీక్ అయిపో అరే రాత్రి వీక్ అవుతుంది ఫస్ట్ టైం దగ్గర చాలా బయట రెడీ చేస్తాను అది వేరు ఒక అమ్మాయికి కూడా చేస్తారా
Hello, somebody is doing cross-talking. Hello. Anyway, so here, like bad layout lead to defect in process. Like for example, I told you now, like if you take our own NIT Varangal layout, it is not a very, very well planned layout. Similarly, industry, in any industry, you don't see a perfect plan. That will lead to adding.
Your voice is breaking, sir. Someone has
No,
unmuted.
somebody is doing cross-talking in your classmates. Hello?
Mute him, sir.
Huh?
Mute him, sir.
ఇంత దూరం ఎప్పుడు పోవాలంటే వాటర్
Hari Sai Teja, Hari Sai Teja, switch off your audio. So here, as I said, like a bad layout, improper process plans. Improper process plans means how you try to realize the final shape of the part, right? That is how, like, first of all, you should go for turning, then milling, then gear hobbing. So you have to properly do that process plan. But sometimes, you do improper process plan, and that will add to the work content of the job. Similarly, like improper usage of accessories like jigs and fixtures, right? So that also results in, and then operatives bad working methods. So operatives bad working methods means, like the best example is we can take the life experience of Patrick Winslow Taylor himself. What he found while working as a machinist, he found that everyone is following their own way of lifting the materials and carrying the materials. And thereby what happened there, he found that the average load carried by a worker was only 12 tons per day. So there was no scientific analysis of operatives bad working, like operatives working methods. See, this is where fundamentally Taylor has changed the whole scenario. So here what I mean to say is, like, for example, operatives bad working methods can also lead to increase work factor, right? So that is one point. Then coming to ineffective time due to shortcomings of the management. So you have excessive production, lack of standardization, design changes. Frequent design changes also leads to ineffective time. So because lack of standardization is a management issue. Like, for example, if you take a Steve Jobs for Apple, he said, like, I will not go for standardization. Let me have my own proprietary parts in the making of Apple PC. What happened? Now he has only a niche market. He cornered only a small a niche market of desktop computers. It is not as widespread as the IBM compatible PCs like your other HP, Compaq, and all those things. Dell. Right? So, see, sometimes you may deliberately go for a non-standardized. That is left to you. But what is the impact here is, only if you don't go for standardization, your cost of production will increase because you may not end up using a high volume production process like mass production system. So anyway, design changes, like frequent design changes will lead to increase of ineffective time. Like I told you about the Henry Ford itself. Why he called his car as T model? Because he initially started with A model. It is a failure. B model, failure. C model. Fortunately, people have given him a lot of chances to try out the various design changes. But nowadays, if you operate like Henry Ford, with the second or third kind of changes, you will be out of the market. And then bad planning. So scheduling the jobs properly, depending on the due date, you plan well, right? And then lack of materials. See, what is the best example now you give for lack of raw materials nowadays?
Chips.
Huh?
Chips, sir.
Chips. See, now, right from Maruti to every company now are operating at 40% or 20% of their capacity because there are no computer chips. There is heavy shortage of chips. So what is happening? That will only add ineffective time because there are no computer chips. There are no these integrated chips or computer chips. You had to operate at below your break even volumes. All right. Similarly, like plant breakdowns. Some plant breakdowns can lead to total decimation of the industry itself, like Bhopal gas tragedy or Chernobyl. Those breakdowns are so fatal, finally resulting in losing the entire plant itself permanently. Then bad working conditions, right? So when your workers are not in a healthy environment, what happens is they may go for frequent leaves like that, and then accidents. So anyway, accidents are if you don't follow proper safety protocols, you may end up having like making compulsory wearing of gloves, wearing of glasses, wearing of helmets. So that is likely to increase the ineffective time. And for finally, ineffective time within the control of worker. That is absence, lateness, idleness, carelessness, workmanship, accidents. Right? So tomorrow in the tomorrow's class, we will look at some of the remedies we can look at. Right? So uh, so we will continue tomorrow. Okay.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah. Tell me.
Sir, ineffective time due to management can be also like occurring due to improper supply chain management also. Na, sir.
Uh, um, See, what you said? What you said?
Due to poor supply chain management, sir, like
Huh?
shipping the like, required raw materials in required time, sir.
Huh? Huh?
Sir, if it gets like somewhere it get trafficked out or like so it the raw materials get
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
get enough time to be shipped.
Yes. That is there. See, sometimes certain things are beyond your control. As I said, no, wherever you can see, for example, the same situation Tesla is not facing. Do you know? Whatever the problem all the other guys are facing, Tesla is not facing. Why? Hmm? Because he is
No,
making his
not
own processor. He has his own proprietary chip. He doesn't want to depend on somebody else. All the other automobile companies have cut down their volumes, but except for Tesla. That's why his stock is rising like it is reaching like anything. Okay. Anything else people want to ask? So shall we call it a day? Oh, Satish Babu. You're asking a very inconvenient question here. We will do it with corruption. Okay. Okay then. Bye, friends.